Are you going through a divorce and convinced your soon-to-be ex-spouse is hiding their true financial position? Hi, I'm Simon Dippenal and I'm a family attorney. I recently spoke to you about maintenance. I mentioned that both parties in a divorce are obliged to provide proof of their income and expenditure, and it's not a good idea to hide salient facts from your spouse or lawyer. However, this unfortunately happens all too often, particularly when the marriage is in community or property. In this matrimonial regime, all assets are split 50-50 on divorce. Now, why would anyone misrepresent their financial status? Surely they entered into marriage knowing the consequences when they chose their matrimonial regime. Well, the breakdown of a marriage is an emotional time. People who are normally rational and fair can behave uncharacteristically out of hurt or spite, especially if they feel they put much more time and effort into the couple's financial status than their partner. They may think it's unfair for their spouse to get half of what they have worked so hard for. Concealing assets in the context of divorce negotiation can be done in a number of ways. The individual may simply not declare them, may depreciate assets beyond their current value, or may conceal the extent of the assets. They may also overstate debts to appear insolvent, report income to be less than it really is, and claim expenditure to be higher than it is. You might think financial transactions are easily traceable, so it must be difficult to over or underestimate the reality. But for a business owner or anyone with complex financials, which is most of us these days with multiple credit cards, loans, online accounts, it's actually quite easy to cover our tracks. Many couples maintain separate bank accounts with a joint account just for shared expenses. If you think your spouse is hiding assets from you, look out for defensiveness when the issue of finances is raised, receipts from ATMs or credit cards or accounts you don't recognize, large withdrawals from a joint account without discussion. Specifically, there are some red flags you should not ignore. I'm going to describe the main ones. Your spouse claims that a computer containing crucial financial records has crashed and can't be restored. During the discovery phase of the divorce, when both parties are required to disclose their assets, they report a decline in the value of marital and/or business assets and investments. They probably transfer these assets to family or friends and will reverse this after the divorce. They become shifty about banking details and take control of bank accounts where historically there has been openness. They open several new accounts, possibly in the name of a child. If they're a business owner, they fail to reimburse their own business expenses, overpay creditors or prepay suppliers. This money can be refunded later. Family or friends are put on the payroll or paid for fictitious services rendered, which will also be refunded later. They make extravagant purchases which can be sold on for cash or which reduce the amount of cash in the marriage. A new cell phone with a different number is highly suspicious, as it may be used for transaction notifications and other illicit interactions, though they are likely also to hide the existence of supplementary device. Their income suddenly seems to decrease. This is harder to feign on a fixed salary, but a tactic a business owner or self-employed person might use. They appear to stop receiving commissions or bonuses. These have in fact been delayed until after the divorce. They pressure you to sign legal documents quickly, so you are not fully aware of what you are signing. Fans of Chicago Fire on Netflix will remember this ploy. On a personal level, they complain about money or debt, or vague or circumspect about their financial affairs, or claim their business has already failed. They submit false, underreported tax returns and pay more than they owe to SARS. They will be rebated for them later. Any one of these actions should set alarm bells ringing. Anyone truly intent on disguising their true financial position is probably also smart enough to conceal their actions, but some of these will be apparent. In fact, are intended to be obvious, such as a drop in income. If you become aware of any of these signs, bring them to the attention of your lawyer immediately, and don't ever sign anything you are not comfortable signing. Read it thoroughly, and if you don't understand it, ask an attorney to go through it with you. My practice, SD Law, is a firm of experienced divorce attorneys based in Cape Town, now Johannesburg and Durban too. If your marriage has broken down and you want to discuss your options regarding divorce, or if you are going through a divorce and think your spouse is concealing assets, give me a call on 086 099 5146 for a confidential discussion.